Are you telling us to form another assembly? Then you tell us. Do we belong to this country? If we belong to this country, Mr. Speaker, you will hear me out.
The future is theirs. They have the right to fight for it. They better fight, man. They better bloody fight. No liberty is gained by laying down and allowing people to work on it.
Our children out of school, our lawyers in jail, Cameroon would know that they don't belong here.
People who talk about democracy must understand that the
Why I ask what language is in Cameroon? Ask that.
This country was united by permission. It was not one against the individual. It was united by the will of the people of the South, not by the will of any other person. By Monday, we will know whether you are wanted for to go to Cameroon or we talk about our country. Okay.
University will not open that then nobody will work. Schools will not open. Parents should not send their kids to school.
But we at the governing council are clear to him that he doesn't govern our nation. He is the president of the Republic of Cameroon, period. To remain strong, because we can see the finish line.
Welcome to P&A. Today, we examine one of the most controversial National Day celebrations in Cameroon, the 20th of May. For many Cameroonians, especially those in the Francophone region, May 20th symbolizes unity, nationhood, and the birth of a stronger Cameroon. But for a significant number of Anglophones, the date represents something very different. It means the collapse of a federal promise, the erosion of their identity, and decades of political marginalization. So the question becomes, should Anglophone Cameroonians celebrate May 20th? To understand the controversy, we must first understand history. In 1961, British Southern Cameroons voted in the United Nations supervised plebiscite to join the already independent Republic of Cameroon. It was negotiated as a federation, two states, East and West Cameroon, each with its own identity, institutions, educational system, and a legal tradition. The Anglophone region inherited the British system of administration, common law, and the Anglo-Saxon educational culture. The Francophone Cameroon inherited the French civil law system and a centralized government model. The federation was meant to preserve both identity. But on May 20th, 1972, President Amadou Ahidjo organized a referendum that abolished the federal system and replaced it with a unitary state. The date became the modern National Day celebration across Cameroon today. For many Anglophones, this was not unity. It was the beginning of assimilation. It was the beginning of marginalization, and it was the end of equality. It was fundamentally a violation of the spirit of the 1961 agreement. The federal structure was a constitutional guarantee protecting Anglophone identity. Once it was dismantled, power became concentrated in Yaoundé, and the autonomy of the Anglophone region slowly disappeared, and over a decade, grievances accumulated. Anglophone Cameroonians increasingly complained about underrepresentation in government, the erosion of the common law system, neglect of infrastructure in the northwest and southwest regions, and the appointment of French-speaking administrators and magistrates who were unfamiliar with the Anglo-Saxon legal traditions. What made matters worse was the perception that the state did not merely ignore Anglophone identity, it attempted to replace it. In the Anglophone region, schools began experiencing increasing Francophone influence. Court systems saw French-speaking judges presiding over common law courts. Official documents were often issued only in French. Many Anglophones began to feel like second-class citizens in the Union. They once entered as equal partners. Then came 2016. Teachers and lawyers in the Anglophone regions launched a peaceful protest demanding respect for the common law and the Anglophone or the Anglo-Saxon education. The demonstration was initially professional and constitutionally in nature. They were not separatist movement at first, but the government response changed everything. Security crackdowns, arrests, internet shutdown, and violent confrontation deepened anger across the Anglophone regions. What began as civic protests gradually transformed into a broader separatist conflict with thousands of lives lost and entire villages burned down and thousands displaced. Fear became normal, and in this context, May 20th became emotionally charged to most Anglophones as it reminded them of their sufferings in the Union. For supporters of the state, National Day represents national cohesion against division. They argue that, despite its flaws, Cameroon must remain united to survive politically and economically. For them, separation is dangerous and destabilizing. They view separatist fighters as terrorists and kidnappers. But for many Anglophones, celebrating May 20th feels like celebrating the very political transformation that erased their humanity and rendered them second-class citizens. To them, the day symbolizes the end of federation, the concentration of power, broken promises, and cultural marginalization. Some Anglophones even refer to May 20th as the funeral of federation. The question in the minds of most Anglophones are, how do you celebrate unity when many citizens feel excluded from that unity? How do you displace families, wave flags while mourning lost relatives? Some Anglophone intellectuals argue that participating in May 20th celebrations legitimizes a state structure they believe was imposed without genuine consent. For them, the 1972 referendum lacked fairness because it asked citizens to dismantle federation without providing equal political safeguards afterwards. Whether we agree or disagree, the perception of betrayal remains deeply rooted in the minds of Anglophones. Many Anglophones feel that the contribution and the identity of former British Southern Cameroons are poorly represented in national narratives. They believe history books, state institutions, and political discourse increasingly frame Cameroon through a predominantly Francophone lens. As a result, refusing to celebrate May 20th becomes, for some, a political statement, a form of silent resistance in historical remembrance. But there is another side worth acknowledging. Not all Anglophones reject celebration. Some believe disengagement only deepens division. Others argue that reform is possible within a united Cameroon, and many ordinary citizens simply want peace, stability, education for their children, and economic opportunity. They are exhausted by kidnappings, harassment, and killings from both sides. The Anglophone question is not monolithic. There are many factions with different points of view. We have federalists, unionists, separatists, moderate, and those who feel politically homeless. But before we proceed, let's watch this video and have a taste of what a lot of people had to say in the past.
Businesses will not open, taxis, benzene, nobody will work, schools will not open, Parents should not send their kids to school.
It was rumored that the teachers' trade unions have received a bribe, and the consortium took this opportunity to clear the air.
Professor, what's his name again? Gogomo. I want to inform Anglophone Cameroon that Professor Gogomo was a teacher in GTHS Bamenda before he went back to school and got to become a professor, and that he has desecrated professorship, and that he would not address justice, he would not address issues of injustice, shows that he is doing everything to protect his position as a privileged slave in this country. By Monday, we will know whether Yaoundé controls Anglophone Cameroon or we control our country, because they are doling out huge sums of money that people won't be able to go to. The issues that we have raised are community issues, and everybody has an interest. That's why everybody is coming on board, putting their own contributions. After Monday, we will think of what else to do that would bring this government down on its knees, if by Monday we don't see them crawling and creeping.
They ended by calling on Anglophone Cameroonians to await an official press conference calling off the strike if it becomes necessary, and that they won't do so on social media.
I am back exactly for the same reason, Mr. Speaker, that you are talking up there. If you are to shut the mouths of the members of parliament so that they do not talk about what has to do with their people, I am telling you, you will need something else other than just this. Because I am standing here for representing my people properly, and someone signs that I should be arrested, and you did not cover me. You did not cover me. I wrote 2 letters to you telling you that there is an order on my head, and if I am to come here and cannot talk on behalf of my people, there is no way, Mr. Speaker, please. You cannot shut down the mouths of the people who represent their people. You cannot do it. Where else can we say these things? Where else? Are you telling us to form another assembly? Then you tell us. Do we belong to this country? If we belong to this country, Mr. Speaker, you will hear me out. You will listen to me. There has been, I'm telling you, Mr. Speaker, please, Mr. Speaker, please, with all due respect, I have been chased through the bushes for the past 3 months. I cannot come here and you tell me that I should be discussing the Economic and Social Council, our children out of school, our lawyers in jail, and all that is happening in West Cameroon. It means nothing to you. Where in your standing orders, Mr. Speaker, where in your standing orders do you have space for us to discuss the issues that have to do with the people of West Cameroon? You tell me, then I'll go and sit down. Because you don't seem to have an agenda for us. You don't seem to have it. So what are we supposed to do? It is also part of the humiliation. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, yeah, I am now telling you that the person who ordered for my arrest, tell him I am here. He can come and take me from this National Assembly, and the people of West Cameroon would know that they don't belong here. I am being frank with you. The representatives of the people have the power to say it as it is at any time. And if we come here and you shut us down, you want to kill those people out there. You want to kill those people out there. So what should we do? That is your wish, Mr. Speaker. I should have.
That was an interesting exchange between Honorable Wilbur and the late Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Kavaye Yege Jib. Even among people who still believe in one Cameroon, many insist that true unity cannot be forced through military presence, parades, or slogans. For them, unity must be negotiated, respected, experienced through justice and equality. National celebration only succeed when citizens emotionally feel part of the nation being celebrated. A parade can display flags, a speech can preach unity, but unity itself cannot survive on symbolism alone. It requires trust, and trust, once broken, over decades is difficult to rebuild. As Cameroon celebrates another May 20th, the country remains confronted by unanswered questions. Can genuine reconciliation happen without constitutional reforms? Can historical grievances be addressed honestly? Can a bilingual nation survive if one side feels politically invisible? And can national unity exist without equal dignity? These are not anti-Cameroon questions. They are questions about the kind of Cameroon where people want to belong. For many Anglophone Cameroonians, not celebrating May 20th is not hatred for Cameroon. Rather, it is an expression of disappointment, pain, and a demand for recognition. In the end, the real challenge is not whether Anglophones should celebrate May 20th. It is whether La République du Cameroun has done enough to make them feel truly celebrated within the union itself.